What's going on, people? Welcome back to another Jazz TV back again. And tonight I've got a Burnley fan who I've known for quite a while, but has been around. And I've got Dan. Big up to you, Dan. How are you, man?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm still on the optimism train at the minute, so I'm hoping, got everything crossed that we can obviously stay up in the Premier League. But no, thanks for having me. It has been a long time, and I appreciate it. So it's always good to chat, John.
Fantastic stuff, and welcome back. And because I posted out on Twitter, and Macy said contact Dan. That's exactly what I've done, and I've got to say thanks to Macy. Excuse me, thanks to Macy. She's watching us, so yeah. So what's been going on? What's been going on with you?
Um, Not much really. I mean, I've been the channel's sort of my channel's been on the back burner a little bit. I lost my dad a year ago, so I've now
Oh man, sorry to hear that.
trying to get through that. But I started a new job. Trying to piece life together after realizing life's too short. Because my dad was only 51 when he passed, so thinking, grab life while you've got it. But in terms of football, I'm like I say, I'm still riding that optimism train. However, I'm now hiding in the bog without a ticket. So so it's
Oh,
it's 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 one of them, mate. We'll see how it is. I just hope that lightning doesn't strike twice. The last time we got relegated from the Premier League, it was Newcastle at home. I don't
yeah.
want that again.
Well, I hope not. I really do hope not. Not to our expense, anyway. I hope you stay up because you're a fantastic club, and Vincent's done a fantastic job as well for you guys as well. And the guys, if you like what you watch, make sure you like and subscribe. If you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. And if you'd like to super chat always open as well. Donate what you want, and I'm not going to ask for anything. You just think what's the channel is worth, and I'll be over the moon. And give to Dave, good evening to you, my guy. Hope we start quickly and kill concentration. Should be a 2-1 win for us. Be a funny season, though. How can happen? Dave, I'm going to kind of agree. Big up to Andrew, to you, mate. Hope you're good. Respect to you, Dan.
Massive respect, Dave. Thank you.
And evening to again today, giving to Mary. Share the love to Mary. Share the love to as well to Amy. Love her lots as well. She is also fantastic. She's so active on social media. Big up to Amy as well and to Mary as well. Yeah, so let's go some more. Hey crew. Hi to Greenheart, Andrew, and I need to swat. Right, let's talk about if you look at the league table, right? I mean, go to the league table, talk about that again. Burnley are second bottom with 24 points. They've drawn a lot of games, unbeaten in 7, I think. It's a 6 or 7, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
and we drew the last 3 games, and 2 points in safety with 3 games to go. And then you got to play us, you got to play Spurs, you got to play Forest. They're not easy games, but not to our expense. I think you'll probably win one of them. I think he may stay up this season. But has Vincent Company done a good job for you this season? Because I believe he have, you know.
Yeah, I'd say he has and he hasn't. I think a lot of fans probably think that he's maybe been found out a little bit. Obviously, we had such a good season in the championship. Everything was amazing. We There was just so much. You felt like you were an extra player. You felt part of that squad. You felt like you could message any player in that championship team, and you'd have been able to go for a pint with them if you'd have messaged them on Instagram. That's how close knit it were. Obviously, we get promoted, and then all of a sudden, the rule book the rule book, the team sheet just gets ripped up, and Vincent started again, and you're just like, what? Like what? Like, don't get me wrong, we had a lot of players in on loan. Ian Matson, Taylor Harwood Bellis, Nathan Teller, and these. I was like, right, let's get these guys in permanent. Let's make these guys permanent. They enjoyed the stay. Let's do that. And we got none of them. Fair play. Fair play to Nathan Teller and Ian Matson. They've gone on to bigger and better things. Matson's now in the semi-final of a Champions League with Borussia Dortmund, and
Yeah,
Nathan Teller's just won the Bundesliga. So if you do want success and you're an up-and-coming player, do come to Burnley because it's quite interesting.
yeah.
Not saying use it as a stepping stone, but yeah, who knows what will be. Uh, like I said, this season has been up and down, and I think Vincent has to take a lot of flack and credit for what he's done. He is still a very, very young manager learning his trade in English football. Yes, we all know Vincent Kompany, the central defender, the absolute stalwart Manchester City captain, one of the best captains in the modern Premier League era. However, when you go from a footballer to a manager, all that history as a player needs to be forgotten. You have now started a clean slate as Vincent Kompany, the manager. And like I said, he's come in. I didn't think he'd have come to us actually after relegation. I thought potentially he's not going to want to come in. But we've got a system now where we're already 2 years ahead of his plan, because he wanted a 3-year plan of us in the Championship, develop, and then promotion. And we got up at the first time of asking. Vincent, for me, deserves all the plaudits, deserves all the credit. And if he can keep us up, what a fantastic achievement. If not, probably one of the most nail-biting, greatest escapes you could ever think of.
Yeah, I totally agree. He's a young manager, you're right, and he's got a long way to go. I mean, look, it's not going to be a major success overnight, but at the end of the day, he's getting there. He will get there with better players and better support, and and I hope it's a Burnley Football Club. I really do, but I hope he stays for you guys no matter what. And we'll see what happens on there. So
certainly will.
I think he'll stay. And so let's hi to you and Julie, hi to Wayne, hope you're well. Hi to Alan as well. He's a wine-up merchant. Watch out for him. You might sit there back short long stuff.
It's all right. I don't bat. I don't bat.
He's fine. He'd probably say, if you look for a new manager, well, I'll let Andy say, I'll let Alan say himself later on. But it's going to come, it's coming. But big up to Alan, by the way. Hi to everyone in the chat as well. We always welcome on. Hi to Alan. Hi to Lorraine. I hope you're well. And Philip too. Hi to Pete as well. Do subscribe to PD Parlock, his channel as well. Terrific guy. So passionate about Newcastle United. And you know what? I mean, league gutter he is not, but Pete has got his own style. And big up to looking at that as well. Right, let's, like I said, you look at the players you bought. I mean, that marriage, for me, he looks a fantastic goalkeeper, by the way, because he saved you. Yes, he's made mistakes, not playing out from the back properly, but on this day, shot stopping. I like this keeper. 6'6" of him from Switzerland. And did he spit at Man City?
Yeah. Muric, we had him in the Championship season. And again, a lot of people had questions over his playing style. Would he be able to, show that sort of character in the Premier League? But towards the back end of the promotion season, he actually came into his own. You realised he was coming off his line for crosses. He was very commanding of his 4 men in front of him, and that's what we wanted. But not only that, how many goals we scored in the Championship season from him picking out Nathan Teller on the shoulder of the last defender, and we were straightforward. So it's not just his shot stopping, his all round ability to pick out a pass. He was probably high up on our assists last season. I'm so glad he's back in the starting 11, because James Trafford, don't get me wrong, right? We spent 19.5 million, I believe, on him. That's with add-ons and stuff. He's just too young. He's too young. He's a baby in terms of goalkeeping terms. You don't hit your peak till you're between 30, 35 for a goalkeeper. So he's still very early in his 20s. He proved himself in League One with Bolton, but it's a massive jump from League One to the Premier League. It's a huge jump. And I think, if anything, Trafford was found out. What happens with him, depending on where we are, is a different scenario. But Muric, since coming back in, has been phenomenal. And no doubt you're going to have Burnley fans going, well, he messed up. He gave a goal away against Brighton. He gave up a silly goal against Everton. But this is a keeper who's pretty much just come back into the side. It's the start of his season. Essentially, it's the start of his season. If he did that at the beginning of the campaign and then went on to be successful, nobody would have batted an eyelid. Nobody would have remembered the Everton and Brighton game. They'd have moved on. But because it's his start of the season, technically, it was a bit of a sucker punch. And I think the way we lost and drew them games were something to be. But let's look at the positives that he's come in. His shot stopping, his saves have kept us in games. I think the last 2 months he's been up for save of the month in the Premier League as well. So we're doing something. He's doing something right. Like I say, it just worries me, this passing out from the back, because you can get caught. And as we know, we have been caught a few times.
Yeah, I kind of agree because you got. I mean, if you listen to Alan Brazil on Talk Sport, he hates teams that plays out from the back. He absolutely despises it. You know what I mean? I don't mind doing it. If you've got the players to do it, go ahead and do it. Yeah, but the best team to do it is Man City. They're the best at playing out from the back, and Arsenal's getting there as well under Arteta as well. Two fantastic sides can play the ball out from the back. They can do it. We haven't got that yet. Neither is Burnley, I'm afraid. But yeah, so if you look at the Burnley's form, I mean, what's been your best performance of the season? I mean, it's got to be one or two, surely, your best performance of the season as a Burnley fan. And before we do that, big up to Mama Flossie. Hi to Mama. She's me mod. And she is brilliant.
To be fair, I'd probably say that we've... I've got to look at the Sheffield United games. Obviously, we beat them 5-0 at the Turf. Then we beat them 4-1 at their place, a few weeks back. Don't get me wrong. I know it sounds silly to say, yeah, but you've just beaten Sheffield United. Everybody's whipped Sheffield United. But that's 9 goals against the team that came up with us. That it's still, you're still coming up against a Premier League side, whether they're crap or not. So I'd say that's up there. You know what? The performance against Manchester United last week, we should have taken all 3 points. If it wasn't for, I dare say it, Andre Onana pulling out some very good saves in that game, we would have easily took the 3 points. It's it's just how's your luck? How's your luck when you're down there? You've got to sort of ride that wave. And fingers crossed, long term, we will get, reap the benefits. But for now, that Manchester United performance, what a performance, by the way. Everyone keeps saying, brilliant, we've come away from Old Trafford with a point. I wanted all 3. I thought we deserved it. And that's why when I came away from it, I felt a little bit dejected, even though I should be happy that you've got a point. When you're down there, it could be the difference between safety or not.
Yeah, totally agree. I have to kind of agree because this is the worst United team I've seen in decades. It really is. This is not a great United team. Let's be real. Yeah. I mean, how many players will get into a Fergie side under this current team? Probably none in a minute. Bruno Fernandes at sub, maybe. Rashford, maybe on the Fergie.
Even Mourinho's come out, hasn't he, and said that 6 or 7 of the bad eggs that he wanted rid of when he was there are still at Manchester United. So that tells you how bad it is there.
I totally agree.
But, it's nobody fears going to Old Trafford anymore. And I think that's why I feel like we should have come away with all 3 points.
I agree. We go in there in a couple of weeks' time. We don't beat these lot. It's like getting beat off flipping Luton. Do you know what I mean? This United team are not that good at all whatsoever. Awful, man. United's fell apart this season. That's amazing. She's absolutely right. She's absolutely right about that. And make sure you smash the likes, people. Come on, we need some more likes in the room. Thanks very much indeed.
Get it smashed.
Get it smashed, and do follow Turf Moor House on this YouTube as well. I was a bit slow, wasn't I? What sort of style? And for those who don't know Burnley that well, what sort of style do you play? Do you play like a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1? If you just tell the viewers there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. We've sort of changed tactic a few times this season, where we've gone 4-3-3, or we've even played 4-4-2 and tried to play tiki-taka football, which I didn't think you could do that with a 4-4-2, to be honest. But I think it's the way you utilize the tactic, the way we actually play. Yeah, someone will be like, oh, Burnley playing 4-4-2. Is that the old Burnley? Are they going to be low block, ball over the top? Is it going to be the old school stuff that we had under Sean Dyche? But it's not. We are still, like we say, playing it out from the back. We are picking passes with one-touch moves, making, trying to open up pockets of space for somebody to run into, and us hopefully push on to get a goal. My worry for me has been our home form hasn't really been the best. Away from home, we seem to be playing with no fear. But now you can't play with fear at this point of the season. You've got to go into every game with guts, heart, and the legs to try and get through the 90 minutes of football. My only issue with the way we play is that you can catch us easily. All it takes is a mistake, that one pass that could go astray. And again, we found that at Manchester United. What if it wasn't for Sander Berg, who, give him his due, has been our player of the season, to be honest, since coming in. He has a lapse of concentration, and it, gets Manchester United in. So, it's a worry, but I do like the way we are playing now. I think you've got to, football's an adapt or die business, isn't it? So if you don't adapt to the way the Premier League is moving, where eventually every team will probably have to be trying to not play a certain way, but be trying to find their own little way of playing how these top teams are trying to progress. So fingers crossed it stands us in good stead for Saturday. But who knows? As I say, at the Turf, we seem to get found out.
That is the thing. Because you get found out, then Vincent's gonna have to change it up. And is he adaptable? Is he adaptable manager, or did you say that he sticks to his ways like Postecoglou does? Or
he does. He sticks. He's very much so, John. He sticks to his ways. He's so naive, but you look at what he's done this year, and I think it's now where he's like, look. See, everyone's saying we need to change the way we play. You can see it's starting to gel. It's starting to come together. But it's at that point of the season where it could be too little too late. We are hoping and praying that results go our way and we end up doing a demolition job on Forest on the final day. Who knows what's happening with all the points? Is Forest going to get those points taken off and with an additional 2 taken off? If that's the case, then we're level on points as we speak if they get that extra 2 points for even being cheeky. And asking for a review of it. So, it is a tough one. And I mean, what Alan says there as well, Leighton James, absolutely cracking fella as well as a footballer. He's been at a few charity events that I've organised, charity football matches, and he even managed one of myself and a few others as like a Burnley fan team against a former Burnley team. We got beat 13-2, by the way, which was bad, but it just goes to show the level of class these players had. But like I say, Leighton James, what a man, very funny. And a very, very sad miss for the Clarets family as well.
Yeah, I totally agree because at the end of the day, I mean, anything can happen. If they get the points back, it's not going to be good. And going back to what Alan said, thank you, Alan. Condolences goes out to Leighton James' wife and loved ones as well. That's sad news, yeah. For those who don't know, Leighton James used to be a Welsh international as well, and and he's a Burnley legend. What a player he was, alongside Jingy Smith and Celtic. That's some great battles over the years, those two, let's be honest with that one. And Mama Flossie can remember him as well. And Jimmy Smith, what a player he was indeed, played for Celtic as well. And I just want to read out what Vincent Kompany has asked in this press conference. Right? He's asked about Forest's points deduction. And like you said, let's hope common sense prevails. The last game of the season, as far as versus Burnley, I haven't worried about it all season, so I'm not going to start now. It doesn't play any part of our next game. Obviously, we'll talk about is Newcastle. He said that they don't have a lot of weakness and they have a lot of strengths. But anything is possible at Turf Moor. We played them before and we started the championship and they beat us 7-0 in that first pre-season. I've already felt we weren't ready to play these teams. Newcastle was our first view, and what a Premier League team looks in us. Also, Dan, he has said some nice things about Newcastle United.
Yeah, he's very respectful, and he's honest with the way he puts things as well. I think he's done well to sort of deflect away from. It's so easy to sort of be dragged into talking about points as a manager. And it can be very worrying because if he's thinking that we're going to stay up on the technicality of points, what belief does that give you as a fan going into these next 3 games? So you've got to look at it and think, no, I'm not focused on what's going on behind. That's for the FA and the Premier League to sort out. What I need to sort out is picking 11 men to put on a field to perform and stay up on merit, stay up because they deserve to stay up, not stay up on the technicality of points being deducted because clearly some fat arsehole at Nottingham Forest who
Yeah,
likes to cheat, Marinakis. Obviously, we all know what he will like with his Olympiacos
they're winning
times as
2-0,
well.
are they? 2-0, they're winning 2-0.
Yeah, it's I think Forest deserve everything they've got. I mean, the tweet the other day, Marinakis on the pitch, you can see there's unrest at that club. But
Yeah,
like I say, well done to Vincent Kompany for deflecting, also for being respectful to the opposition. I think what Vincent said is pretty much spot on. The way Newcastle have done things in terms of, investment, not just with players on the field, but with, people in, the back rooms and stuff like that, and the hierarchy. They've also employed there. So the way it's been run is actually, something that hopefully Burnley can emulate. I'm not saying
yeah.
that we're going to be up there farting with the likes of yourselves and, oil-rich Manchester City at some point, but who knows? Who knows? Our chairman has told us that he believes what he wants for Burnley is to see us competing in the Champions League, and if that's what a chairman dreams, then a chairman's going to clearly try and do everything to push that dream to fruition. So let's hope for the best long term. So we shall see. To be continued with Burnley Football Club.
Yeah, absolutely. Boutique continue, and we have to wait and see what happens by 5 o'clock on Saturday. Just two more bits about what what Vincent's been saying. The easiest is asked about how does he get his inspiration, and he said the easy one is a manager talk bad about my team. I hope Eddie Howe criticized my team rather than praising them. That will get them going. Anything should fill your motivation. He also added on Howe's career achievements. He said he has been in that position for many years. What he achieved with Bournemouth will always command that respect of his peers. When you take a job like Newcastle, he has done something by taking them to Champions League, a good coach, a very talented, and he has shown more with a better team. Again, Vincent respectful, like you said, very respectful. And he's been saying some nice things on Eddie Howe. Some managers we had this season just not placing them big enough enough. But big up to Vincent Kompany. Wow.
Yeah, he's like I say, he's got a heart of gold. He's got
He
an
has.
absolute heart of gold. He, whether you meet him in person or out like that, he just you feel at ease around him. I've been around some managers at Burnley in the past, the likes of Steve Cottrell and stuff. Who I was a kid when I met him, and I went Cottrell, and they went, "Don't call me that. What's my name?" And I went, "Steve Cottrell." He went, "Yeah, my name's Steve, so call me by my first." And I thought, "What are you being frosty with me for? I'm literally a 14-year-old kid." So when you've got somebody that like Vincent Kompany who doesn't forget his roots, doesn't forget the person who he is, or the position, or the lucky position that a lot of fans and general people would want to be in.
Great.
He doesn't forget that, and he sticks to his principles. And with respect as well to what he said about Eddie Howe, a lot of people doubted Eddie Howe, didn't they? Going to Newcastle thinking, oh yeah, he did all right at Bournemouth, he took them up divisions. Why we're trusting a manager who's going to come in here and what is he going to ruin it? Is he going to do this, that, and the other? He's never been given a war chest, shall we say? And obviously, he's come in and done his bit. And fair play to him. Like I say, he spent a bit of time as manager at Burnley, and prior to Owen Coyle becoming Burnley manager. And obviously, it was down to, I think, the passing of his mum that he moved back down to Bournemouth because of obviously them family reasons. But he brought us some brilliant players. We had the likes of Danny Ings and Charlie Austin because of him. His transfer now up here was second to none. So, I've got no bad words to say about Eddie Howe. I thought he was brilliant in his short stint at Burnley. And again, I echo what Vincent says. fingers crossed Eddie does criticise Burnley and their players and it gives them a bit more firepower. But who knows, mate? Who knows? It's just managerial mind games at the moment, isn't it?
It is. It is. I mean, he's only saying that just to, being nice, and then they don't want to know, but they just say nice things to you in the press conference, and then try to beat you on the pitch as well. But hey, Gene Kelly's day was great, but being from Glasgow, he had a bad side to him and a very bad temper. But apart from that, he was class, and that's about he's going to be right at Merchant. Dan, would you take Sean Longstaff in the summer?
I mean, how's he been for you guys?
Let's just say a bit mixed in a minute. Like, you know what I mean? I can't lie. I mean, look. Let's
Does he just need the confidence? Is it just about getting the confidence back in him? Because there is a player there. From when I've watched him play, there is an actual player there.
For me, I mean, I just don't think he's been that great this season. I know people are saying that Sean Longstaff, because he's a local lad. I mean, they say, he works hard for the team and works hard for the team. The trouble is, though, so there's other players works hard for the team. Do you know what I mean? I mean, if someone came up 15 mil, between 15 and 20 mil for this guy, right, then I'll happy send him tomorrow, because for me, he ain't good enough. Because we're in the project, yeah? We're on phase 3 of the project next summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not being funny, but right? But I think the fans are split. I think Longstaff has split the fans. For me, if we go have midfield 3, for me it'd be Tonali, Joe Linden, and Bruno. That's my midfield 3. Yeah.
Do you think that's why Longstaff's getting the game time though, because of Tonali's ban?
Yeah, pretty much so. Yeah, but you know what? I mean,
that's just been suspended, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's been.
I think 2 months suspended, so he should be back for August.
Yeah, that's right. He's got a 2-month ban, and he'll be back for August 27th, I believe. So he's very lucky. He's very, very lucky. But it's great to see him back when he does. Even Amy says Long's not that good. What the hell? Longstaff's been amazing. The thing is, though, Dave, right? It's all about opinion, so I respect that, yeah. But what does he bring to the table? That's the thing. And where are you going to park him in next season when you've got Tonali, Joe, and Bruno in the team as well? But for me, I want to win titles. I want to win trophies, yeah. And I just don't think he's good enough this season.
The one thing you've got to think of, John, is that
he's from
look at Leicester. I don't want Hendrick back. Jesus Christ, no chance, Alan. No chance, Alan. That there's a wind up coming there. I know that.
That's Alan. Hey, buy when you get one fee. That's Alan for you.
But to be fair, like say with Longstaff, look at how Leicester was, won the Premier League. The likes of Robert Huth and Wes Morgan at centre back.
Yeah,
these are players that have played at the likes of Chelsea and stuff like that and never done anything. Go to Leicester and create a Premier League winning side. So, okay, one player might make the difference, one player might not. And again, I think you do have to take the sentiment away from whether he's a local lad. We've got that dilemma in the summer. We've got Jay Rodriguez, local boy, literally lives around the corner from me, and. Well, he did growing up anyway, but he's out of contract in the summer. I don't think it'll be renewed. He's in his late 30s. He's not really had much game time, so you've got to sort of forget about the sentiment and just remember that you've got a job to do, whether he's a Burnley lad or not. If he's not good enough for the way you want to play and adapt the season after, then he's got to go.
Fair enough. I mean, I was going to say, can you not keep on for one more year? If you get relegated, keep on for one more year, get you back up, and then you can move on.
I'm not sure. I don't know whether there's like something in his contract, whether there's an option for a 1-year extension or not. If there is, I'd activate it, and then if somebody comes in the summer for him, take it. If you can find a right replacement, but. I'm not sure. We seem to have a shit ton of wingers at the moment and nowhere to put them. So I think we do need to create a bit of space and see what we can do.
Yeah. Well, he's 34, Rodriguez anyway. Yeah. He's 35 in the summer. So see what happens on that. I was on salesman mode, John. I know you were, Dave. I know you were. Bless him. And Dubs, he wants Dubs to be gone. So he's been linked to Saudi, by the way, as well. I wish him all the best if he goes. That 2 month suspended, which means he'll be back on August if he does not do it again. Rain, he'll not be doing that again. Rest assured.
I'll have a tenner on it.
Yeah. Oh, bless you. Bless. We're going to do now. We're going to do the combined 11, right? And then just going to pick the best of Newcastle, the best from Burnley, right? You'll be doing this one, yeah. I mean, if you're the manager, sort of, you just pick them on form, and you can have like 5 Newcastle, 6 Burnley. It's up to you. This is your team. What I'm going to do, I'm going to share the stream, and if it allows me to do it, I know it does. And let's share the stream. So we start with the goalkeeper. Who would you play in goal?
Who's Dubravka's been in the net for you, hasn't he? At the moment, with Pope injured. If I had to pick anyone, I'd go Pope. If we're talking about a fully fit,
go for a fully fit squad. Go for a fully fit squad.
Right, I've got to go on Nick Pope. What he's done at Burnley and what he did at Newcastle before he got injured, Pope's got to be in there.
Okay.
At least I've got a mix of Burnley and Newcastle with that one. So that's a win-win.
Yeah. Win-win. Great stuff. Good for you. Go on. Go for your right back.
Right back's interesting. Right back is very interesting because I want to say Trippier, because again, what he did for Burnley and he was one of the first players to make a big money move when the money came in at Newcastle. But you know what? I'm gonna call one of my own. I'm gonna give it to Vitinho. I think he's 23. He has got bags of potential, and I think he will do some amazing work. I think he'll go on to some bigger and better things.
Right. Is that Vitinho? Do you have the
Vitinho?
Tinho. And it's not coming up for some reason. But what we do then, we just gonna put down Vitinho's right back. Sorry guys, it's just names not coming up. We'll go straight to the other side and your left back.
Left back. Who's been your left back this season?
Our left back, Dan Bird played there, but he'd be switched back to the centre of defence, and that's his place. And you've got Lewis Hall as well. He played at left back as well. And,
he's a local lad, isn't he?
Lewis Hall, he's from Slough, and he's from Slough. But he's a Newcastle fan.
I mean, Burnley don't really have a left back, so you know what? No, I'm gonna put Charlie Taylor in there. I want to put Charlie Taylor in there because I think, again, this was Charlie Taylor who last season in the Championship apparently looked like he wasn't going to be part of Vincent Kompany's plans going forward. We'll get back to the Premier League, and he's shown his qualities. So it's mad.
Wow, fair enough. So
I'm surprised it hasn't found Vitinho. I don't understand why.
I don't understand it either. I just don't know what's going on here. But normally,
I don't know whether he's got some sort of funny foreign Brazilian name. I'm not sure. So I wonder whether it says.
I'll try this one. If he's got like a first name, then which he hasn't, and which is Gollum. So yeah, we put him right back anyway. Victoria.
Oh yeah, it says Victor Alexander da Silva. So it might be down as that.
I'll try that one.
It might just be down as Victor Alexander da Silva.
Still not coming up, unfortunately.
No.
Believe it's not there.
He's not there, is he?
He's not there. He's not. We've got to move that back anyway. Let's go into the centre back. There's loads to choose for.
I can't really give it to any Burnley player, really, can I? We seem to ship goals left, right, and centre, so I'm going to have to give it to probably Shaw and Dan Burn, I guess.
Yeah, Shah and Dan Burn. There you go. So that's let's go on to the midfield. That'll be interesting.
In the central centre midfield, I'd say Sanderberg. Like I say, he's probably been our player of the season.
Interesting.
And I think he would benefit from, again, it was linked with a move to Liverpool for their rebuild. And somehow is at Burnley. I'm thinking, what the heck? So yeah, I think Sander's got to be in there, and there's no other way about it. It's Tonali and Bruno. Tonali and Bruno, hands down.
Yeah. Fair enough. And are you going for the others?
Yeah, Tonali in one and Bruno in the other.
Tonali in one and Bruno Guimaraes.
Yeah.
There you go. That's midfield 3. So you've got midfield Tonali, Burge, and Guimaraes. And let's go to the front 3. Let's start on the left side of mid.
I've probably got to give it to left wing. I'm going to say Anthony Gordon.
Good choice.
Massive. Again, another player who's come on leaps and bounds. A lot of people said that he was, is he going to do all right at Newcastle after his move from Everton? He's ripped it up, got an England call up.
Yeah.
This lad has took the criticism and used it in a positive way. Right wing. You know what? I'm gonna say Wilson Odobert for Burnley. I'm gonna make sure that there's some Burnley players in this team. I think this is a 9. Actually, no, sorry. Based on fully fit squad, Luca Koleosho. Now, this is a player we signed for £3 million. And it's a K. It's a K. His last name. Again, he's so young. He's probably not even on the game. But
his name is Luca.
Yeah, Luca Koleosho, his name.
Koleosho.
Yeah.
Cole. Yeah, I've seen him. He looks really good.
He's such a good player. And
if he comes up,
it was only down to him getting injured. I think if he wasn't injured, we'd have actually been in a healthier position than what we are now. And to be honest, John, striker speaks for itself, doesn't it? If you don't put Isak in there, then you've mentally retarded. I'm sorry, but Isak is just he's been formidable. How we plan to keep him quiet on Saturday, I don't know. So yeah, striker role, it's got to go to Alexander Isak.
Fine. We know we've got Luca Koleosho on the right side and we've got Isak up top. Why is Luca Koleosho coming up? I just do not know.
To be fair, half of them are too young. That's probably why they're about 17, 18 or 19 maybe.
Try this way. Try and do his last name. No, that's not going to come up, I'm afraid. There you go. But you're right. He's just got to play up front anyway, so there's no question about that. So that's going to be Dan's is going to combine. It's going to be Pope and goal, Vitinha, Burns, Shah, Tiller at the back. Midfield 3, Burge, Guimaraes, Tonali, and Koleosho, Isak, and Gordon up front. So I'll be happy with that, and I've got no problems at all whatsoever. So tell us what you guys think. Do you happy with the squad there? Who would you choose as combined 11? Just put it in the comments, guys. So hi to Clarky, hi to you, mate. Hope you're well. And hi to Birch Head and long stuff. And Clarky. Well, I'm not doing it. That is down to Dan. So you need to ask Dan the question. Clarky,
trust me, he's trying to sell him again. He's trying to sell us to him.
Good Phil. Yeah, I think so. So that's going to be the combined 11 there. So we get rid of that now. And we're going to talk about my prediction for Saturday's game. I believe the back is going to start. The right back, I don't think Trippier will be fit. So for me, I would go for Livermore right back, Loose Hall left back, and hope for Shah and Dan Burn. But Shah is injured at the minute. If he doesn't come in, then you got to play him with Kraft. Midfield three, it's going to be Longstaff, Bruno, and Elliot Anderson. The front three is going to be Gordon, Barnes, and also Isak up top. So what's your 11?
Probably won't be changed that much. I'd say Muric in goal, Coutinho at left back, Lawrence Assignon on the right, with Maxime Esteve and probably Dara O'Shea at the back. To be fair, I don't think he'll change the team that played against Manchester United. I think he'll keep the same 11 because that it seemed to work. But a midfield of Josh Cullen, Sanderberg, wingers in terms of trying to think of who we had on the wing. We had. So yeah, we did play a 4-4-2. So we had Wilson Odobert there with Jakob Brun-Larsen, who we had. Jakob Brun-Larsen, by the way, we got on loan from Hoffenheim. I hope we can make that move permanent because he's a real player. And apparently we do have a clause in the loan move that says we could sign him for a certain fee. So fingers crossed he does. And then, like I say, the two players up top, Lyle Foster and David Datro Fofana on loan from Chelsea. Fingers crossed he can find his shooting boots again.
Hope so. Let's hope you're right. I mean, if you're gonna, if Vincent trusts them, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you do something about it. You'll have money. You're definitely gonna have money in the summer. I'm sure you will. And it's worth 50 mil. Going a long stab. Amy thinks differ. Don't miss it, Amy. Yeah. To be fair, I would have liked Birch when he was linked with him. And fair dues. How do you rate Trafford? For those who have, because Clark might have missed your early assessment. I mean, obviously you prefer Borich in goal.
Yeah. Trafford again, very young. I think will come good, but I think he needs game time. I think he needs roughing up again. Still in the other leagues, it's all well and good going to Bolton, a team expected to do well in League One. But I think if you give him a team like Rotherham, who languish in the Championship, and someone like that, I think that would test his ability, and I think he'd have to learn and adapt to a different way of football and realise that he will have to come off his line. But he's still young. He makes mistakes. Time will tell. Time will tell. But you don't spend £19.5 million on a goalkeeper to not think he's going to be decent. So surely, someone at Burnley has hopefully done the scouting right, and he does turn out to be a world beater at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, see what happens, sort of thing. I'm sure he's going to keep to marriage on Saturday for definite because obviously he likes him. And yeah, I mean, I look at the Burnley players, right? I mean, you're playing some great stuff, do you know what I mean? But you just can't. The trouble is, though, you're not scoring enough goals. It's a 38 goals scored. That's your problem. And you can see what 32. We all know the problem with Burnley conceding goals, and that's the problem. But if you can get that sorted out, if you stay up this season, I think you need to work on that defense. I mean, going forward, fantastic, but it's just defending. And I think some of those players, like you said earlier, got found out, but I'm sure Finster would get it right.
Yeah, I hope so. Because we were so resolute in the Championship. We were so strong, an absolute unit. We were scoring goals for fun, but we're defensively strong. This season we've come up. We said it earlier against Manchester United that United, I think, had 12 or so shots.
Yeah.
And they only had 4 on target, but they were dross. They were dross efforts. But you get a team in form and give them 12 shots, and you're looking at a completely different outcome, different scoreline, and you're leaving that stadium with your tail between your legs. So, to be fair, do you ride your luck at times? Yes, you do. You have to. But I do think long term, that's something that definitely needs addressing. And it's why, like I say, Aro Muric has kept us in massive, massive games. And I just hope and pray that Saturday is going to be one of those days where Newcastle have the boots on the wrong feet and we
Yeah.
get something from it. To be fair, I'm not even so bothered about the result as such. I just want us to. I think my priority now is I'm so pumped for this great escape. That's what I want. So we want something out of it, but who knows? We've been here before on the final day, and you sent us down. So
Yeah, we did.
don't want that again.
No, definitely not. You don't get Forest relegated.
Definitely.
Would Trippier be back? No, it's in Dubai. You'll not be playing again. I can't see him playing till the end of the season, even in all fairness, to know what I mean. If you want him, Dan, John will drive into Euston. It's all about Longstaff, I believe. Thank you, Lorraine, for that. Yeah, he's still in Dubai. I feel it's right there, Clarky. And Clarky meant to say, I think Pope will play or not until next season. Next season, Amy, I don't think he'll play again until next season. It makes sense, doesn't it? 20 mil for Longstaff. I tell you, that's a good price for away. Amy Lane Twins, penalty to Villa. It'd be 4-3 if they scored it, and we're sisters. Wow. Do you know what Amy's like? She's lovely anyway. And Dan, what about Carriers or Dubs? As your goalkeepers in summer. Carriers going off to Italy. Dubs, I think you do with him for the championship if you do get relegated. And I think it'd be good for you, but I think you end up going to Saudi Arabia as well.
Yeah, I think we're going to be looking at a goalkeeper because I'm not sure what's happening. Obviously, we've got Bailey Peacock Farrell out on loan at FC Aarhus in Denmark. I've not really followed what he's doing, but I can't see him being in the fray or anything. I think either one of Muric or Trafford will potentially move on. I'm not sure. We will see. Depends on what division we're in. But we do need another option if that is the case. I mean, it's all well and good sitting here saying, well, David De Gea's on a free, save money, whatever. But let's not forget, Dubravka went to Manchester United and seemed to do a decent job there before coming back to Newcastle and, showing his colours. So, you never know. You never know. You just need that keeper in the right setup. I mean, we've had Joe Hart at Burnley and God, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
So you can be a world-class goalkeeper and sometimes it just not work. It just depends how you fit into that system and the way and the style of play. So who knows? I mean, if we are running short on goalkeepers, would I take Dubravka? I'll tell you now, yes. I think he's a decent stopgap while you're still looking for a permanent solution.
Wow. Fair enough. I mean, we definitely get a keeper on somewhere along the way. Popey has been training all this week. And yes, I heard that as well. I was hoping he'll be back. Yeah, I hope he does. If he's fit enough to come back, get him back. But with Eddie, you just don't know with Eddie. He keeps it close to his chest, and he doesn't say a lot when it comes to team news as well until it's on the day. Let's go for some preview. According to Sport Mole, I mean, Burnley's possible starting lineup. Don't believe what you will. Merchant Gore, Sanyon, O'Shea, Estevez, Vitinho, Adorbert, Cullen, Berg, Larson, Amdouni, and Foster. I mean, Foster looks a good player. He holds the ball up well, doesn't he, for a big guy?
Yeah. He's had his issues this season. He's had to deal with a lot of mental health issues. A lot of fans didn't rate him last season in the Championship, but I said, if we get to the Premier League, he will be like our new Ashley Barnes. He'll be a bit of a shithouse, and he'll sort of ruffle a few feathers, and he has done. He's come up and he's took it with both hands. I think he'll be a very good player, and again, still very young as well. Let's not forget this; he's still very young with bags of potential to go forward. So let's see. And Alan, in answer to that, FFP is just going to be there, isn't it? Just one of them things. And obviously, we've now got, we've now got the new, is it spending cap coming in as well? Apparently, so that could be something. But VAR is a joke. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with this new rule for the Premier League. With the Wenger rule sort of coming in.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens there. And Clarky, if we go down, will Company stay? I believe so. I think unless his vision changes, and as I said at the start of this, we got promoted 2 years ahead of plan, basically. So is he going to go, oh, right, okay, well, we went up. It's good experience for them. If we can retain some of the players or the bulk of players and go straight back up again, that season in the Premier League, this season, is going to stand them in Ofsted to go, we want to get back there. We want to do this again. We want to show you what we're made of, because they are kids. They are kids, and they are going to still want to show their worth and fight for everything. So we shall see. I do believe Vincent Kompany would still be Burnley manager in the Championship, though.
It'd be interesting. It'd be very interesting. But I mean, this new thing is, if you could spend 5 times your TV deal. So Southampton had 103 mil, and they could spend up to 518 million, which is absolutely large. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
if
it's still big numbers. It is still big numbers. I think there was only 3 clubs that went. Oh no, there were 2 clubs that said, I don't want it. And there was 1 club that's, I think it was Chelsea, that abstained from even giving an answer, which probably right that Chelsea didn't say anything, given the billions they've spent and, pissed up the wall, shall we say. So
yeah, I totally agree, because spent $1 billion, the worst Chelsea side ever, right, in my opinion, and he won 2-0 against Tottenham tonight. So what does that say? If he stays there, the best of luck to him and Burnley. That's from Clarky.
No, I appreciate that, Clark, because Burnley and Newcastle very rarely play each other. I mean, it's only obviously now since we've been together. The first time we got promoted to the Prem was the season you got relegated. So it was the one game I was looking forward to and hoping was that Newcastle stayed up. And then obviously when you went down, I'm gutted. I thought, I'm going to, I want to get to St. James's Park. And luckily I've managed to go now twice. And I'll be going to St. James's Park for a 3rd time. I'll be there for the England game at the beginning of June against Bosnia. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a nice place, St. James's Park. You feel, again, it's similar to Turf Moor. It's in the heart of the community. It's there's just something about it. You can't beat having your club as sort of the hub of the town and city.
Definitely not. I mean, they are a fantastic club, great fans as well. And do you know what? I mean, let me continue that way, because you've got a good community. It's important to have a community. So that's the most important thing. How someone got that kind of money as TV deal, and so you've got 103 mil, times that by 5 or 6. That's what you've got. And that's going to be a new rule coming in 25-26 season. So I think that's a better way, to be fair. Then you can spend a little bit more. So, yeah, I thought that myself. And from one down to another.
Big up, brother.
We still call him Clarky, but bless him. Right, before we wrap up the show, right, what do you think the score prediction is going to be on Saturday between Burnley and Newcastle? I know you're a positive guy. You said that.
Yeah, it's a head and heart, mate. We've not got the best record against you guys. I won't lie. I think I was looking at it earlier that we've only won 2 of our last 13 Premier League matches. We've drawn 4, lost 7, but we've lost the last 5 in a row. So fingers crossed that turns. We've never lost 6 in a row against you. So hopefully that's a good stat to come on to. You know what? I would still take a point. I think, again, anything better than a loss is something in this hunt for survival. We don't know what's going to happen to Forest yet. We don't know what's going to happen to Everton yet, because it's not just the points thing. They've also now got an insolvency company in. So it could go all skew within Liverpool as well. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to say a scrappy 1-0 win for Burnley. But like I say, I would still be very, very happy to walk away with a point.
Fair enough. And thank you for that one. And feeling to the tune. Sorry, Dan, but hopefully you stay up.
Fair dues.
Very, very positive. And then that's just going with 3-1 as well. I'll go with Alan on that one. Sorry, Dan. 3-1 to
It's
us.
all right.
We need to win games. We need to win games. We go qualify for Europe. Then that's the chance you'll have to take. We need to win this game, and I believe we will. I've got to be positive this end as well. And Isak's going to get 2, and Bruno for the other. So that's going to be our 3. I think it's going to be a lot more than that. It could be a lot more than that, but we'll see. And Amy's going for 5-0. Bless her. She's super positive. You've got to love Amy, by the way. And so that's going to be our preview show. We're going to wrap it up there. And thanks for the chat, for watching as well. You've been fantastic. And Dan, where can we find you on your socials? What you got coming up as well?
Yeah, you can find me at Turf Moor House on all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram. We're there. So yeah, at Turf Moor House, as it's
fantastic stuff
on Saturday as well. So I will be watching the game perfectly legal.
Good for you. Good for you. Thank you, Mama. Really appreciate you supporting me channel as always.
Seeing what we can do.
Fantastic stuff. And good luck to Dan as well. That's from Ian. I'll give Dan a follow. Yes, the link is in the titles in the description as well. So if you just hashtag Turf Moor House, and then that's this channel. There you go. Thank you very much indeed, Mama. And guys, you don't know what Dan's channel is all about. It's very, very passionate. Loves Burnley, loves the Clarets, and he just does more followers as well. And it's good to see Dan back on the shores as well. And always
hopefully next season as well, John. Hopefully next season as well, I'll be back on.
Yes, definitely come back next season. We gotta get you up, man. And thank you very much indeed. Win. I'll follow, but you'll probably hate my page. That's eerie. Listen,
nah, I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater.
Definitely not. Thank you, Mama. Great banter, John and Dan, plus the chat as well. And I should be back. I may do the match reaction show after the Burnley game. I think that'll probably be about 5:30, but keep your eyes open for that as well. And so we get the 3 points as well. Try to get a couple of guests on as well to support me. So yeah, guys, like what you watch. How are you backstage as well, Dan? If that's all right for a minute or so, I'm on your page. And Lorraine's got a question. We're rooting for you, Burnley.
Let's send Forest down together.
Let's
do it.
Let's do it. That's from Mary. And yeah, that's it. And guys, like, subscribe. Do follow us as JSTV or John Sinclair TV as well. That's a Twitter as well. That's a Twitter NCUFC Gill. Newcastle or Carla NCUFC Gill. And that's her Twitter account as well. Thank you very much indeed, Amy, for that one. And if you like to watch, guys, like and subscribe. I'll shoot back on a Saturday. And as always, I see that one for win as well. Why not love? Bless him. And as always, have a good evening. We're the lads.